Stop for a moment and receive this. You're standing at a choice point, not a casual choice, not a small preference, not the kind of decision where every option feels equal and nothing really changes. This is deeper. This is the kind of choice that changes the shape of the future. The kind of choice that says, this is who I'm becoming. This is what I'm devoted to. This is the life I am no longer willing to betray. Stay with me here. I need you to hear this clearly. There comes a moment when the soul stops asking for endless options and starts asking for one true yes. Not a half yes, not a polite yes, not a yes that keeps every escape route open. A full yes. A 1,000% yes. A yes that rises from the center of the body and does not need to negotiate with every old fear before it becomes real. Receive that. There is a sacred yes trying to move through your life. A choice that feels clean. A direction that feels alive. A commitment that feels larger than mood. A path that does not simply excite you, but calls you into a more honest version of yourself. This is the blessing for today. A blessing for inspired choice, a blessing for devotion. A blessing for the moment when you stop floating between possible selves and begin choosing the one you're here to become. Good. Let the body hear that. Let the chest become steady. Let the shoulders lower. Let the hands soften. Let the nervous system understand. A true choice does not imprison me. A true choice gathers me. A true choice does not shrink my life. A true choice gives my life direction. A true choice does not erase possibility. A true choice collapses the false timelines so my energy can finally move with power. Let that land. Every real yes contains a no. Every sacred commitment closes certain doors. Every chosen road leaves other roads unwalked. That's not loss, that's focus. That's coherence. That is the moment the scattered field becomes a beam. You can't become everything. You can't live every timeline. You can't remain loyal to every possible version of yourself and still build a life with force. At some point, the future asks, which one are you choosing? Which life receives your devotion? Which path receives your time? Which love receives your heart? Which work receives your discipline? Which standard receives your loyalty? Which version of you is allowed to become real? This isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to wake you up. Because choice is creative. Choice is not only selecting from what already exists. Choice creates. Choice takes the invisible and gives it a road into matter. Choice takes a possible life and begins turning it into the actual life. Choice says to the field, this one. This is the direction, this is the signal, this is the timeline I'm feeding now. Good. Let that settle. There's a quantum feeling to true choice. Before the choice, everything hovers. Possibilities float. Versions of your future shimmer. You imagine one road, then another. You feel the pull of this life and then that life. The field feels wide, but also unstable. Then something happens. The yes becomes clear. The body knows. The heart recognizes. The will gathers. And in that moment, one possibility receives your life force. one timeline begins to thicken. One road becomes more real. The others begin to fade. Not because they were evil or meaningless, but because they were no longer being chosen. And that's the power of commitment. Commitment collapses the field. Commitment turns possibility into embodiment. Commitment gives the future a spine. Stay with me here. I know part of you needs this today. Because there's something you've been circling. A relationship, a calling, maybe a standard or a body of work, or a way of life. A decision that keeps returning because it's not finished with you. You may have been trying to keep all the options alive so you wouldn't have to grieve the ones that have to fall away. But the cost of keeping every option alive is that your true life never receives your full power. Your energy stays divided. The signal stays weak. The road stays theoretical. The heart keeps waiting for you to mean it. And today, the heart is asking for a real answer. Not from panic, not from pressure, not from proving anything to anyone, from devotion, from inner clarity, from the quiet, unmistakable place inside you that knows what deserves your yes. Let this one land. The right yes does not always feel easy. Sometimes the right yes asks something from you. It asks for consistency, for honesty. It asks for sacrifice and maturity. It asks for the collapse of the timelines where you keep delaying, drifting, hiding, bargaining, or choosing what is almost right, because the fully right thing requires a new level of courage. That's why the yes is sacred, because it costs something. It costs the fantasy of remaining uncommitted. It costs the illusion that you can become your future without changing your present. It costs the comfort of keeping one foot out the door. It costs the old identity that wanted transformation without devotion. But what it gives back is greater. It gives direction. It gives dignity. It gives coherence. It gives the deep relief of no longer arguing with the call. It gives the body a path to walk. It gives the day a reason to organize itself. It gives love, work, healing, discipline, and desire a place to meet. Receive this now. May the false yes lose its sweetness. May the half yes reveal its cost. May the fear lose its grip. May the people-pleasing yes become impossible to confuse with the holy yes. May your body recognize the difference between obligation and devotion. May your heart recognize the difference between attachment and alignment. May your mind recognize the difference between endless analysis and true discernment. Good. Let the body become honest. Your body knows more than you think. It knows the difference between the choice that makes you smaller and the choice that asks you to grow. It knows the difference between a door that drains you and a door that challenges you in a life-giving way. It knows the difference between an old pattern wearing a beautiful mask and a true invitation that feels like air returning to the lungs. Listen there, not only to the racing thought, not only to the fear, not only to the fantasy. Listen to the deeper yes. The yes that feels clean after the excitement settles. The yes that remains when the mood changes. The yes that becomes more real when you imagine giving your best to it. The yes that asks you to become more faithful, more present, and more alive. That is the yes that we bless today. This is not about impulsive romance with every shiny possibility. This is inspired commitment. The kind of commitment that joins love and will. The kind that says, I choose this because it calls the best out of me. I choose this because it aligns with the life I'm here to create. I choose this because it strengthens my heart instead of scattering it. I choose this because I can feel the future becoming more coherent when I face this direction. Stay with me. There is love in this. Not only romantic love, though romance can be a part of it. This is love as devotion. Love as the force that chooses. Love as the force that says, I will not remain endlessly available to what keeps me divided. I will give myself to what is true. Love chooses. Love commits. Love returns. Love says yes with the whole heart. And because of that yes, every lesser arrangement begins to lose its authority. In romantic love, this is the movement from fascination into devotion. In self-love, this is the movement from self-neglect into loyal care. In work, this is the movement from dabbling into craft. In healing, it's the movement from wishing into practice. And in the spiritual life, this is the movement from ideas into a lived path. In every case, the choice makes the bond real. The yes becomes a bridge, the bridge becomes a road, the road becomes a life. Good. Now let that settle. You're allowed to want a life that is chosen, a love that is chosen, a path that is chosen, a future that is chosen. You're allowed to stop living as though you're merely reacting to whatever appears. You're allowed to place your hand on the center of your own life and say, this is the direction. This is my yes. This is the timeline I am feeding. This is the version of me I'm becoming. There's power in that. There's relief in that. There's peace in the moment when the soul no longer has to spend all its energy holding contradictory futures open. The scattered energy returns. The signal sharpens. The atmosphere clears. Your choices begin to speak the same language. Your habits begin to support the same future. Your relationships begin to reveal whether they bless the path or pull against it. Your time begins to ask for better stewardship. Your heart begins to say, thank you. Now I know where we're going. This is the blessing of the choice point. A blessing for the hour when the inner life becomes less divided. A blessing for the moment when the false timelines begin to collapse. A blessing for the sacred yes that gathers you into one living direction. Receive the blessing over your choice. May the right yes become unmistakable. May the wrong yes become harder to maintain. May the old indecision lose its glamour. May the fear of commitment stop pretending to be freedom. May the fear of sacrifice stop pretending to be wisdom. May the fear of change stop pretending to be caution. May your true devotion become stronger than your need to keep every door open. Good. Let that reach the nervous system. You can choose without knowing every detail. You can commit without controlling every outcome. You can say yes without being able to see the entire road. You can let false timelines fall away without treating their collapse as failure. A timeline collapsing is not always a tragedy. Sometimes it's a mercy. Sometimes it's the field becoming cleaner. Sometimes it's life removing what would have continued to divide you. Sometimes it's the old possibility losing charge because your soul has outgrown it. Sometimes it's the future protecting your energy by making the wrong road less attractive. Let the collapse happen. Let what is not chosen fall away. Let what is not aligned lose its magnetism. Let what belongs to the old version of you become less convincing. Let the sacred yes gather your life. This does not mean you become rigid. It doesn't mean you never adapt. It doesn't mean you lock yourself into something dead out of pride. Real devotion is alive. Real commitment has intelligence. Real choice keeps listening. But it doesn't keep reopening the same question every time discomfort appears, and that's important. Discomfort does not automatically mean the choice is wrong. Sometimes discomfort means the choice is asking you to become capable of living it. The true yes will challenge you. It may require discipline. It may expose old avoidance. It may ask you to mature. It may call you into a deeper relationship with honesty and love, money, work, health, or purpose. That challenge is not a no. It can be the very proof that the yes is alive. A dead choice asks nothing. A living choice calls you forward. A living choice calls you forward. It doesn't merely comfort the old self. It summons the becoming self. So ask inwardly, what choice is summoning me? What yes would make my life more coherent? What commitment would collapse the timelines that keep draining me? What future is asking for my devotion? What would I choose if I stopped asking fear to bless my becoming? Let the answer rise without force. It may be immediate, it may arrive later. It may come through the body, it may come through a sentence. It may come through the sudden clarity that something you've been calling complicated is actually simple. Not easy, but simple. There's a difference. Simple means the truth has become visible. Easy means there's no resistance. Many sacred choices are simple before they're easy. Now let that one land. The choice may be simple before it's easy. You can still choose it. You can choose it with trembling hands. You can choose it with a full heart. You can choose it while learning how to live it. You can choose it one day at a time until the choice becomes a path beneath your feet. That's devotion. Devotion is not only the dramatic vow, it's the daily return. It's the repeated yes. Devotion is the way you keep choosing the thing after the mood has changed. Devotion is the way you protect what matters from the erosion of distraction. Devotion is the way the sacred yes becomes embodied in ordinary life. So bring this into the ordinary. Choose one act that proves your yes today. Don't make it abstract, make it real. Send the message, clear the space, protect the hour. Make the commitment, write the promise, end the false agreement. Begin the practice. Choose the person, choose the work, choose the body, choose the future. Choose the life that feels like a 1,000% hell yes in the deepest part of you. And if something is not a yes, let it be honest. Let it stop borrowing your life force. Let it stop sitting in the chair reserved for your real devotion. Let the no be clean so the yes can be strong. This is part of the blessing. A clean no protects the sacred yes. A clean no gives the true path room. A clean no is not cruelty. When it's aligned with honesty, it's stewardship. It's the clearing of the field. It's the collapse of a timeline that no longer deserves your energy. Good. Let that settle in. The field is clearing. The false roads are losing charge. The real road is becoming brighter. The scattered versions of you are beginning to gather. The yes is becoming less theoretical. The future is waiting for embodiment. Receive this identity now. I am allowed to choose. I am allowed to commit. I am allowed to say a sacred yes. I am allowed to let false timelines collapse. I'm allowed to become the person my true choice requires. I'm allowed to devote myself to the life I am here to create. Now let it settle into the chest. Let it reach the spine. Let it reach the hands. Let it reach the voice. Let the voice become clear. There's something powerful about saying yes. Yes to the path. Yes to the love. Yes to the work. Yes to the body. Yes to the healing. Yes to the discipline. Yes to the future. Yes to the version of me that no longer wants to live divided. Feel how the word gathers you. Feel how the word clarifies. Feel how the word makes the other options quieter. This is not blind positivity. This is selection. This is devotion. This is the moment the signal becomes coherent. The universe of your life responds to coherence. Your time responds. Your habits respond. Your body responds. Your relationships respond. Your opportunities respond. When you're divided, life receives a divided signal. When you choose, the signal becomes stronger. When you commit, the signal becomes a path. When you devote yourself, the path begins to carry power. This is the quantum shift. Not magic as fantasy, reality responding to coherence. The observer no longer scattered across every possible outcome. The will no longer diluted across every imagined life. The heart no longer split between what's true and what's familiar. The choice collapses the wave. The path takes form. The future begins to behave differently because you're behaving differently. Let that one land. The future begins to behave differently because you are behaving differently. Choose as the person you're becoming. Don't choose only from the wound. Don't choose only from fear. Don't choose only from the version of you that wants to avoid discomfort. Choose from the future self who has already crossed the threshold. Choose from the version of you who is clear. Choose from the version of you who knows that devotion is not a cage. Devotion is the road by which the soul becomes real in the world. Receive the final blessing now. May your sacred yes become clear. May your inspired choice become strong. May your devotion become steady. May your heart recognize what is worthy of commitment. May your mind release the timelines that only keep you scattered. May your body feel peace when the true path is chosen. May every false option lose its borrowed light. May every aligned possibility become more vivid. May your will become coherent. May your life begin organizing around the choice that is truly yours. May the yes that belongs to your future reach you today. Let this be the final prayer. I bless the choice point. I bless the sacred yes. I bless the timelines that are complete. I release the roads that no longer belong to me. I choose what strengthens my life. I choose what honors my heart. I choose what calls me into devotion. I choose the person I am becoming. I commit to the life I am here to create. Let it settle. Let it become simple, let it become real. The choice point is here. The false timelines are losing power. The sacred yes is becoming brighter. Your future is asking for devotion. And from this point forward, may every true choice receive your full participation. May every half yes fall away with grace. And may every blessing that belongs to your committed path find its proper road into your life. If this transmission found you at the right moment, subscribe to Dove and Serpent daily, and return tomorrow for the next realignment.